Welcome back to Tirana, Albania. Past winners, Rauli Tsirakedze of Georgia there at the top. 365 kilograms was his total that he won it in 2012. And he is returning further on down the order in 2009. Zairov of Azerbaijan is there as well. He's returning. He is actually in a different category. He's upped his weight. He'll be competing tomorrow. Now, this is the first man out for the Snatch, Karen Tovmasian of the Netherlands. The first Dutchman to make it into an A group category. So well done to him for that straightaway. That's no mean feat at European level. 145 kilograms on the bar. The highest of the current posted entries is Tsirakedze at 165. Ivan Markov of Bulgaria has also posted 165. Now alongside me, Colin Bryce, is Michaela Breeze, former British weightlifter, who has seen the action throughout the week. Once again, Michaela, a pretty packed, pretty stacked group.
Absolutely. Looking forward here to seeing Ukudov of Russia coming out. He's got some serious credentials behind him, having placed second in the Olympic Games in London. Good solid first attempt there. Tovmasian. Just to note, that was 148 kilos first attempt. The heaviest snatch from the B group was 155 kilos, so still a few kilos to go to overtake those from the category that was lifting earlier today.
Yeah, a very large amount of lifters in this category. There was 20 posted up originally, so a lot more than most of the other body weights have entered into this European Championships. It's often a little bit smaller the amount lifting post-Olympics, retirements, etc., even sabbaticals, as it were, post-Olympic Games. But the standard has been exceptional so far, and János Baranyai of Hungary comes out at 150 kilograms for his first attempt.
Well, great extension through the lift there. Very deep receiving position. The lower you can get underneath the bar, the better. And he really made use of every inch there. 150 kilos, he's well in the competition. Very, very deep. You're not allowed any other part of your body to touch the platform other than your feet.
Well, the Hungarian was 6th at the European Championships last year. Now this is Krzysztof Zwaric of Poland, 23 years old, 7th at the recent Olympic Games, hit 150 in London. Hit 154 at the European Championships last year, and well, that opener looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable. He's going to be pleased with that. Takes the pressure off. It's always nice to come out and get your first attempt in successfully. Nothing worse than putting yourself under pressure right from the word go, but he's a very good technician. Stands up strong, no problem. I don't think we've got any other lifters opting for this weight on their first attempt, so the bar is going to rise. A bit like high jump, rising bar. In weightlifting, the weight continues to increase. You choose when you come in for your first attempt. Remember, you only receive 3 attempts in the snatch, 3 attempts in the clean and jerk.
So it looks like it's coming back to our Dutchman, Karen Tovmasian, who has really stepped up a class here, getting into the A group. His best posted total before that we could come across, 137, 172. So you can already see he's stepped up enormously to hit 148.
152 kilos on the bar for his second attempt. Running out of time.
Well, as a little look back at the bar there, 152 didn't come off the floor very convincingly, and it never really picked up pace.
Lacking leg drive there through the middle of the lift as the bar passes the knees, really didn't explode into it. Threw his shoulders back from the bar, which is why the bar ended up in front. He's asking the coaches now for a bit more tape for his hand, and whether he's ripped it. You see thumbs are heavily taped. That's because you trap the thumb between the fingers and the bar. Quite often that takes a bit of a pounding when lifting. The tape may come loose, so he may just need to restrap.
Well, he's got time. You would assume that he will be following himself here on 152, which gives him 2 minutes in which to take his third and final attempt. It's normally 1 minute, of course, following another lifter, but 2 minutes when you follow yourself. 2 minutes just about enough to get your head into it. I mean, it's not great, is it? You'd want 3 or 4, really.
Well, at this end, 2 to 3 minutes. 3 minutes ideally would be a nice recovery time. On the snatch, it's not so much of an issue because you haven't, spent that long on the bar. But if you're doing the clean and jerk, by the time you've done the clean, you've wasted a lot of energy, so often takes longer than the 2 minutes allowed. But remember, the lift has to start before then, so it's not even the full 2 minutes.
When you were training up near your best, would you often put yourself under pressure with 2 minute clocks?
Yeah, and also when I'm coaching as well, sometimes if I'm in the gym coaching, I might just shout a number, I might say 10. And whoever I'm coaching then has to lift the bar before I get to 0, so I'll give them a 10-second countdown. And usually when I do that, they're sat down having a drink, resting, chatting, and it really does catch them off guard. It's great preparation for competing at this level.
152 kilograms again, third and final lift.
Frustration. Very frustrated there. Going to be disappointed with that. Just threw his shoulders back from the bar. He's going to have to go back into the warm-up room, recompose, ready for the clean and jerk.
Zvaric coming out at 154 kilograms. 4 kilograms of increase for him. And this will equal his personal best set at the European Championships last year.
Well, his first attempt was very, very strong. That one looks to be strong enough for it, so see if he can sort his position out. Really drive with the legs a bit more powerfully next time.
Didn't waste much time when he went down, did he? Just grabbed the bar and went. You see some lifters, 10, 15 seconds they'll be down there.
Yeah, every lifter has their own way of preparing. Some like to take their time, visualise the lift before they approach the bar. Others like to get themselves on the bar and go from there. Some people prefer just to come out, get it done and take themselves off. Very much an individual thing, but you'll see that lifters, so he's just come out and gone fairly quickly. He'll do the same again. He won't change his routine.
So he now gets 2 minutes to follow himself. 154 remains on the bar.
Choosing to stay on his feet rather than sitting down allows the blood to flow, help recovery a bit more.
Yeah, the coaches weren't really saying much to him there. I think he knows what he's got to do. So Zvaric, 154, third and final lift.
Mocno zabierz, wyjście w górę.
Well, same again. Disappointing now, seeing quite a lot of failures in this group. These lifters would have been hanging around most of the day, trying to stay relaxed, trying to chill out. The weigh-in would have taken place 2 hours before the competition started. Just wonder if they've switched off a little bit with all the hanging around during the day.
So it's going to be the Frenchman out next. Giovanni Barty, who was 5th at the European Championships in 2012, hitting a 163 snatch last year. 155. Should be fairly comfortable for him. He did a lot more than that at the French Championships recently. 14th at the Olympic Games. Has hit 160 with regularity. So, what should be a comfortable opener. He just sort of motioned towards his thumb there. Perhaps his grip slipped a little.
Yeah, maybe the tape went. I think it's more to do with positioning. We'll have a look at the slow motion replay. So the bar came past his knees rather than driving up into the bar, fully extending upwards, just through shoulders back. That's going to put a swing on the bar.
The Hungarian back out. Coming for 155 this time, Baranyi. Successful at 150.
You can see just how ripped this guy is, how much weight he's had to lose to get down into this category. Lifters generally train overweight and cut at least 2 or 3 kilos before the event. Superb lifting. Really executed that.
And he has one more attempt. So perhaps high 150s, 160 for him would be possible. He's hit 160 before. That was last year at the European Championships. So the Frenchman Barty came out and attempted 155 on his opener, a weight you would have expected him to hit on past form.
Solide, pousse sur les jambes.
Much better second attempt there. He's going to be pleased with that. He's in the competition. Very tall lifter. At that height, you can't really afford to be much lighter than 85 kilos. Almost looks as if he should be a 94 kilo lifter.
Good clean effort though. Recovered well from missing it in the first lift. And he will have one more attempt. Whether he'll go up towards his 163 personal best, that would be a huge jump, perhaps 160 for a second, or rather third lift. So you see them walking around backstage. There's just went past the cameras the Russian Ukadov, who is expected to come out at 165. Hungarian though, it's a Janos Baranyi coming out again. 157, so he's only gone for 2 kilograms more than he managed on his second lift.
Feszes, kemény háttal indítsd el a földről.
Very deep squat position, has to drive out 3 successful lifts. Cannot ask much more of him than that, and that looked to be pretty much on a limit. So great choice of weights all the way through the competition there.
Yeah, I think a half a kilo more would have buried him there. Let's have a look at this again. He goes down very deep. Tries to come out the first time. Has to go back down again. Really dig deep there. Tremendous stuff. And the first man to go 3 out of 3. Belarus. This lifter is Ali Kuhayu, who comes out just under, or rather, sorry, 1.1 kilograms under the 85 kilo limit. So actually one of the lightest men in the whole field. 163, his personal best. He did that at the European Juniors, which he won last year. Only 19 years old.
Well, very powerful 19-year-old. But let's hope his inexperience doesn't cost him here. Shake of the head, it's over. Can't change it, need to go away now, refocus.
So a 160 kilo opener, just didn't quite attack it with everything there.
Technically not bad, the position was pretty good. If anything, just like a fraction more leg drive to generate more height on the bar.
The step up from European juniors to seniors, it's pretty much the same feel, isn't it?
Yeah, same feel. You go out there, you know, you do the same thing. Nothing changes in that respect. Obviously, the standard of competition is significantly higher. I think I was competing at a senior level when I was still about 16 or 17. So I had a couple of years in the junior ranks, getting a feel for the senior ranks, as it were. So when I did make that transition, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and I guess the only other thing, of course, is the cameras, and you know, and you do tend to get a much bigger crowd. The weightlifting hall here holds somewhere just over a couple of thousand people, and it's not full at the moment, but it's certainly not empty. Having all those eyes on you, all the cameras, etc., definitely adds to the pressure.
It can definitely be a different experience when the cameras are there. You don't experience this at a junior level, and to be fair, it's only really at senior Europeans, World Championships, Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games when you're confronted with that. So for a junior lifter, stepping into this kind of atmosphere can be daunting.
Well, he is just 19. Let's not forget that. Let's see if he can get off the mark then in senior major competition.
So much better. Very frustrated still though, dwelling on the first attempt. He needs to put that out of his mind, be confident with how that lift went.
Yeah, he's still got one attempt left. His personal best at 163, I would say, after seeing that second attempt there, is possible. The very best are still posting 165 that they're going to come in at. Now Giovanni Barty of France going for his third and final lift at 160.
Well, that lift 160 now takes him ahead of the Greek lifter Ikovidis that lifted in the B group earlier today. Finished with a 155. It's a great recovery, having missed his first attempt. 155 on his second, 160 on his third. Great recovery.
So it's the young Romanian coming out now. It's Gabrielle Singh, 162 kilograms, going for his first attempt.
Hai risetto. Un'alzata puternica.
the Olympic Games. He entered the snatch competition with 167, and I'm afraid he missed all three. His personal best 164 prior to that.
Well, that was a very solid 162. I'd like to think that his best of 164 is up for grabs today. Hopefully he can restore some confidence following a very disappointing Olympic Games last year.
Yeah, that must have really burnt a bad memory into his brain to go out there and, well, to go well above your personal best as your opener is brave, to say the least, but then to bomb and miss all three must have been well, pretty disturbing, really, for a young weightlifter. Now, coming out onto the platform, Albert Syakov of Russia, one of the favourites for this tournament, European under-23 champion. He's been world junior champion and European junior champion in 2011. Personal best of 170. 163 here. Oof.
Well, just swinging that bar as it came past his knees. Syakov has posted a 153. He's decided to move that up to a 163. So here we can see not too much wrong with that. The difference between a good lift and a bad lift at the top end is minimal. If anything, caught it a fraction high, was just still sitting in. Didn't land it as dynamically as he possibly could. Couldn't hang on as it went out the back door. It appears that he's going to be following himself now, so 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes on the clock then, and probably a sensible thing to do. Looking at those still who have to come in, we have Ivan Markov, 165 he's posted. Udakov is also 165, and the European champion, Sirakidze of Georgia, 165. That's what we're expecting to see them at. So 163 again for Albert Syakov, one of two Russians in this weight category.
Well, this is a lifter under some serious pressure now. Missing your first attempt puts pressure on, but missing two really throws out the window any game plan that you had. He's going to be following himself yet again, so needs to take full advantage of the full 2 minutes. Needs to stay composed.
Of the two lifts, which lift did you tend to miss more, the snatch or the clean and jerk? Was it,
I think in terms of failures, I was fairly even, fairly consistent. I had an 18-year career, and probably one of my biggest achievements was never bombing.
That is quite an achievement, actually. Well done.
And that, I didn't play it safe. I started usually within a couple of kilos of my best. Always challenging, always trying to push the limits. So yeah, that's probably one of my biggest achievements. But that comes down to technical ability of the lifters. This guy though, he's fairly sound technically. There's not much wrong with that. Yeah,
I guess is something like the clean and jerk, which perhaps people tend to gamble more on, perhaps in the competition later on. So there's maybe more misses there, or is the pressure of the early snatch
there's always telling? Pressure of the first attempt going into any international, the pressure of just getting your first one in. So to miss that really does throw the mind a bit. But in terms of gambling and risk taking, most lifters in the snatch will try and stick to their game plan, try and execute where possible 3 out of 3. But then the gambling, I guess, comes into effect on the clean and jerk. When you know what everybody else is doing, that's when you might take a risk to try and go for a medal to make the total that you need.
Well, if you were a gambling man, looking at the way Apti Ayudakov was skipping around, clapping his hands there in front of the screen, it would suggest that he feels pretty confident with the way his warm-up is going. Now, Rauli Sirakidze, the Georgian current European champion, has stepped onto the stage at 165.
You can only assume that Syakov of Russia is going up for his third attempt.
Yeah, perhaps bought himself some time, or his teammate, if he didn't think there was any more. That would be strange, though. So, Tsirekidze hit 165 last year to take the silver in Snatch.
See the difference in terms of receiving position. He really landed very solid, very dynamic, no movement. He was fully in control of that. 165 on the board, oozing with confidence.
No problem at all, and matches his best from last year. There's a lot more there. To be fair, last year's total was not as high as the European Championships is often won in, 365. It can be 380 plus.
Just looking back at his results from last year, 162 at the London Olympic Games, where he finished 9th. 165, as you said, at the European. So hopefully we're going to see a bit more today.
Stepping onto the stage, it's Kuhayu of Belarus going for 165. Final attempt.
Well, that's some confident lifting. You can see how much tension, how much stress his body's under. Did very well to stand with that. Great recovery from the youngster, missing 160 on his first, successful on his second, and extending that to 165. He's really put himself in there amongst the more experienced lifters. Great lifting.
Yeah, 2 kilograms, his personal best. Well done. Just 19 years old, the European junior champion. Making waves here with the seniors. Now, Sayakov, third attempt, 165 is what he's walking out for, having missed his first two at 163. So he's bought himself some time by going up, but it adds to the pressure. Can he get a good lift in?
Oh, fantastic. Look at that, under pressure, a true champion.
Amazing, really stunning. European under-23 champion. He's been there and done it already, despite still being a youngster. European junior and world junior champion in 2011. He's worth 170 at his very best in the snatch. Well, there's the Russian, Apti Ayudakov, 175 at his best. Second at the Olympic Games, comes in at 166. So this was well within his capabilities. A really exciting lifter, Ayudakov. And you sort of think he may well be a future Olympic champion. No surprise, of course, he took the silver in London, but he's one of the real favourites of the Russian coaching setup. Massive talent.
Wow. Well, for those that blinked, you probably missed it. Absolutely superb. That has to be one of the quickest, most dynamic lifting we've seen in this whole European Championships. Huge leg poke. You can just see the size of his thighs there. Remember, the effort comes from lower body. You don't need much in the upper body. A powerhouse. Muscles in the legs, the backside. Superb.
Just in a blink of an eye, wasn't it? Really phenomenal. Now, Gabrielle Singh, 166 kilograms. The Romanian. 167 is where he bombed at the Olympics in London. Hit 162 cleanly in his opener, though.
Brilliant again. In some ways, Singh there's got better levers than Ukudov. A little shorter, stockier, still very, very dynamic and explosive. People think weightlifting is all about brute strength. There's so much that technique plays a part.
Yeah, I bet he wishes he just did those 2 lifts at the Olympics. He would have been in with a shout. But chose to go in too high. 165 then. So the kids managed in his opener. This is 168. The overall reigning European champion. Everyone's in the competition, bar Ivan Markov of Bulgaria, who we await. We believe is going to come in at probably this weight. Possibly more. Who knows?
It's going to be more. If he was coming in at this weight, he'd have been called before.
Well, he's missed it. Never really got close to that, did he? 168. This 165 is pretty convincing as well. So Sidakidze, who, to be fair, hit 165 last year at the European Championships to take silver in Snatch, and that was actually his personal best. So he is, in terms of senior internationals, in uncharted territory here. It's actually a pretty brave opener when you think about it, to come in at 165. So the Romanian comes out at 168 for his third and final. Pretty small increase from 166. When you consider that Ivan Markov isn't even in yet, it's I'm surprised they didn't wait and take another kilo or 2 more. But this should just about guarantee him a medal of some sorts.
Well, remember, the last lift was over his personal best, so this is just to extend his best even further. Probably a sensible decision, only increasing by 2 kilos.
Well, I guess they got it right, or just about right. Maybe if you'd have gone up a kilo, he might have got that. So Cayenne, who opened in London at 167, as we said earlier. I thought somehow maybe with best part of a year under his belt, he might come out and hit over 170. Not to be, though. Sidakidze comes out attempting 168 again. Has 165 in the bank. And if he's going to regain his overall European title, he will need every kilo going into the jerk.
Well, that would have guaranteed him a medal. He now finishes with 165.
Yeah, ranked in 5th position, I'm afraid. So a number of men, all pretty similar. But we still have Ivan Markov and Apti Ayudakov of Russia. And here is Markov. A real sensation from Bulgaria, and improved really out of sight in the last couple of years. Stepped on stage at the London Olympics, 172 kilograms there, finished 5th, which I think was probably a bit disappointing. So goes for 170 as his opener. The Bulgarians have huge hopes for this man.
Well, that's a man wound up. You've got to focus all of your energy, all of your aggression. It's got to be focused, it's got to be channeled. And right now, I wouldn't like to get in his way.
No, he's clearly got the power to get that up, and that's why he's so irritated with himself. Just didn't quite get his groove. I'd like to see what his vertical leap is. You see some of these weightlifters. I mean, Mark Huster is the one who jumps to mind in particular, who just looked like he could jump over a house. Now, Gabrielle Singh of Romania leads second lift, 166, ahead of Aukudov. So Aukudov still has 2 lifts left, the Russian. The Bulgarian, he too has 2 lifts. being toweled down here. And Abdi Ahudakov, we saw him clapping, smiling, moving around the warm-up area earlier, and you can see why. He's played his cards just right here. So it's going to be Ivan Markov coming out again. He's just got to watch not to really be too aggressive here and bounce the bar out. It causes a bit of swing, doesn't it, on the line of the movement.
He looks focused. He's very experienced, having competed last year at the Olympic Games. There's no bigger platform than an Olympic stage, so he should be able to cope with the pressure. He's got it. Can he stand still?
No problem at all. Yeah, that was he kind of nonchalantly shrugs there. Should have done that first time. He should have done indeed, but he's still got one attempt to go, so he can reply to Ahudakov here.
Worth noting at this stage that Markov is lighter in body weight than Ahudakov, who is now stepping out onto the platform for his second attempt. 171 kilos, so he's chosen the extra kilo to take the lead.
Yeah, he's the heavier man. 84.85 he weighed in that. Markov 84.34. So this battle's down to 2 men now. It's worth noting as well that Ahudakov is actually down in third because of body weight. Singh Cayenne is ahead of him, so he needs this not just to jump to first, but to go from third to first, and gets it.
Well, very convincing. This is a man in great shape. Different kind of approach here. You can see that Ahudakov there is very relaxed, very focused. But when it matters, just see how quick and explosive he is.
So what is Markov going to do then? 172 perhaps? 17, or is he going to go all out? 175, put the pressure on the Russian.
171 will put him into the lead, but I think at this stage he's looking to get as much advantage as possible. So he's gone for a 173, which is sensible, not too far ahead. But I'm just looking ahead at the start weights for the clean and jerk, and Ahudakov has slightly, only a couple of kilos heavier starting weight than Markov. So yeah, we see Markov going for 173, try and stretch the lead.
Missed it. That's taken the pressure off of Ahudakov anyway. So only made 1 out of his 3 attempts, 170 kilograms in the end. And I think he's going to be a bit disappointed with that. Silver medal guaranteed. Ahudakov will come out for his 3rd and final lift, which I expect probably around the 175 kilogram mark, similar to what he did when he got the silver medal at the Olympics. 173, so he's just going to extend his lead. Sensible. Not trying to bite off more than he can chew here. He's thinking about the combined total and becoming overall European champion. Final lift in the snatch, and it's just brilliant to watch, isn't it? So quick. He's taken the gold there with 3 out of 3, 166, 71 and 73. I think 75 plus. I mean, it was